So believe it or not, this MGB has a surprisingly low percentage of original sheet metal that it left the factory with. So while I have this car in the shop doing the brakes on it, we thought we'd do a bit of a video on just the car itself, because I think this car has a pretty interesting story. So this is an early '74 MGB, and the owner has had it, I know, probably at least 30 years. I don't really remember how long exactly, but I know at least 30 years. And when he first bought this thing, it had, I think, come from Virginia Beach area, and it looked like it. The salt air had attacked this thing all over, and there was rust splotches everywhere behind all the lights and all the fittings around all the trim, just big old rust splotches. It looked really bad all the way down the car, the trunk lid, everything. It looked so bad that people took pity on him and would offer him up parts really cheap for him to restore it. And he got a lot of really good deals on parts over the years, waiting for his time to restore it once the kids were moved out and he could save up the money to actually do it, because he was always a guy on a bit of a budget. He worked for the National Guard full-time and retired from there after, I think, 30-something years. And he never had a lot of extra money to play with, but this was his baby. And he drove it for many, many years in that condition with good results. It was always fairly reliable with not many problems. But then eventually he brought it to me and we started doing metal work to it. Yes, I restored this car and it was done over about a 13, 14 year period in stages. So when he brought it to me, he said he thought the car was so rusty underneath that his wife couldn't even get out of the car. She'd have to be pushing the door from the inside while he was pulling from the outside to get her out of it, and the seats would rock because they weren't really connected to the floors too well anymore. And they thought the rust was what was causing the doors to jam up and be so hard to open. So he brought it to me and said, let's put floors and rockers in it. Once I got it into the shop and started working on it, started tearing into it and figuring out what we had, it turns out the car really wasn't anywhere near as rusty as everybody thought it was, at least especially in the floor areas. It turns out that sometime in its history before he bought it, the car had been rear-ended pretty hard at some point, enough that it had been rear clipped. So the back of the car from here back was actually from a whole nother car, and they were welded together, and whoever did it did a pretty poor job of it. They just overlapped the floor and the transmission tunnel and literally just put a few stitches across there. Very little weld at all in the rockers, outside and inside, and nothing in the middle. They never opened it up and welded the center part of it together. So there wasn't much holding the car together at the time, and it was nowhere near straight. You could look down the line here and it just tapered off and went downhill from here. And what they did to make the door gaps look right was they just took body filler all in here and made the door gap look straight. So the reason why the doors didn't open and close is because you couldn't line the latches because they were trying to latch crooked. And that's why the doors wouldn't open, not because of rust. Now, he had already had rockers and everything sitting, and I told him, I said, well, you know, that stuff's not really rusty, but the way they put it together here, it's not really safe to drive like that without doing a lot of reinforcing, so we might as well go ahead and put the rockers in since you already have them. And he had gotten those in a really good deal when somebody seen his car sitting out in the parking lot at his work, his part-time job, and said, whose car is that out there? He said, I have a bunch of parts and I got to move and I can't take them with him. He sold them to him really cheap so that he could do his restoration. So I ended up cutting the car just back in half, take the whole back half off the car, then re-squared everything back up and trimmed everything up. So I butt welded the transmission tunnel back together, and then put all new rockers and sills so that every other joint in this car, other than that one butt weld, is all factory style joints. All the way from the floor, rockers, and everything. So now it's back to like it should be. I believe I actually have some pictures from that process. And if I can find those pictures, we'll try to put a little slideshow up of some of that here so you can see what went into that. So once I finished up all of that, he was out of money for what he had saved up. So we put all this stuff into a urethane primer, floors and rockers and everything, and he continued to drive it like that, going to club events, shows and everything, until he saved up the money to actually finish it properly. And then he brought it back to me for us to finish. So during that stage of the process, we ended up putting a new boot lid on it. Replaced both doors, both fenders with all used parts that he had gathered. Put a brand new bonnet and a brand new lower valance on it, along with new grille, bumpers, all that stuff. And then did some repairs to the cowl. So the only original sheet metal left on this car that it left the factory with is literally just the engine compartment, the firewall and cowl assembly, and most of the transmission tunnel. So at that point, I believe he'd been driving this car for 21 years. And in those 21 years, he had never put a screwdriver to the carburetors. So for all of those people out there who say SUs are finicky and they constantly need adjustment, no, they don't. If you get them right the first time, you don't have to mess with them. This car is proof of that, along with a lot of other cars I've played with. But when he brought it to me then, he said, I think it's finally time to rebuild those carburetors because this thing isn't running right. And he brought a rebuild kit for it. As it turns out, there was nothing at all wrong with the carburetors. He had wiped the cam in the motor. Now, when he bought this car originally, he said the motor, where he was told, was just rebuilt, and it was freshly painted, actually a close blue to this. And the car actually at the time was a medium blue, not the original blue that it was from the factory. And this is actually a slight variation of the pageant blue that's on later MGBs and midgets. We actually lightened it up a little bit from the actual factory color to get what he really wanted. But when we tore the engine down, found the cam was wiped and compression was a little low, and we popped the head off it and found that the rebuild that was done before was merely just rings and bearings, maybe a cam at the time, and that was it. There was such a ridge in the cylinder walls that it took 30 over to just barely clean it up. So it has been something like 8 years or so since we restored this, and this thing hasn't always been stored just in a garage and it has gotten a bit dirty, and he hasn't always kept up with cleaning it really nicely and kept it up to tip-top condition. But the motor here is 30 over, just balanced, stock cam, just a average rebuild, and he does drive this thing. He lives about 50 miles away from Columbus and drives it back and forth from there to Columbus all the time for club dinners, club events, shows, and what have you. So this car does get around, and he does put miles on it. Now, he had no idea that I was going to be doing a video on this, so he hasn't cleaned it up, and it hasn't been cleaned up for the video here. But we ended up putting the Moss Honey Tan Deluxe panel kit in it and matching carpet. But the seats were some seats that he had gotten off of somebody that are actually leather, and he felt was a close enough match that with where he was in his budget, that's what it was going to just be. So he's left these in here. They are slightly worn compared to the rest of the car, but he's perfectly happy with it. But he did opt for some various upgrades like this steering wheel. He splurged on stuff like that. So this was a budget build, but he splurged on a few spots. And we also put footwell lighting in here in blue, so when you push the switches, they go off and they come on when you turn the doors open, or open the doors. So it's his baby. He's had it for a long time. He really enjoys driving it. And ever since it's been done, he's enjoyed driving it even more.